Hi, Peter Boolkah here. Welcome to today's edition of The Transition Guy. Now I'm in Atlanta at the Gazelle Scaling Up Conference, and joining me for a second time is Shannon Susko, and she's going to be talking to me today about her new book, The Three-Hag Way. So Shannon, thank you for coming down.
Yeah, thank you. Love seeing you here at the Growth Summit.
So another book.
Another book.
What's the story?
Well, the story's all about thinking everybody had a strategic execution system. I thought when we were growing our companies, everyone had one. We had the great opportunity to coach it into many companies, and then a few other coaches here picked it up, and they had great success too. So we figured it's all about one-to-many, and we should share how you actually get a strategy put in place prescriptively, step by step, and then quarter over quarter execute to it. It's how you create great value, and our companies and my own companies have had huge success with it.
So what's the difference between that and the Metronome Effect?
There's not much, actually. When I wrote the Metronome Effect, this existed. I just didn't know how special it was.
Okay, so now you're honing it in a lot more.
Yeah, I thought most companies did this. I thought most coaches actually did this. But I think the more and more I got into coaching and working with companies and working with other coaches is that they weren't doing it. And they were looking for that prescriptive way to build a strategy and then step by step make it true.
So what are the key takeaways from the book? So if you were to say, okay, do you know what, these are the big tools that actually have the big effect, what are they?
The two biggest tools in the book that we, when we were growing our two companies, inherently just did. The first one is the key process flow map. It's a really simple tool. It just shows the whole team what are the 3 to 5 functions that you need to put in place and really do well in order to make money. That key process flow map becomes a scoreboard, a day-to-day scoreboard, week-to-week, month-to-month, and it's the foundation of forecasting cash first. Most organizations don't do this, and we forecast cash first using the things that flow through your business. I call them widgets. It's just whatever those things are, whatever you're selling, whatever goes through each process in your organization, it actually helps map it out to forecast this year, next year, and the year after, hence 3 years. The other key tool that comes out of this that everyone talks about, and it's on the cover of the book, is the swim lanes. All right, so everybody wants to get to swim lanes, because if you can get to swim lanes, it means you have a strategy, you can see your unique and valuable position, and with your team, you've actually discussed all the big milestones for 12 quarters, so quarter over quarter, how you're going to track and get there. Those are the two big ones, and they tie together very tightly. One is very execution operated, and one's very strategic.
Now, for a lot of entrepreneurs out there, and there are a heck of a lot of entrepreneurs that never went to university, never went to college,
Yep.
They left school, they built their business. As soon as you start talking the language of projecting cash and swim lanes,
Yes.
they're probably going to be quite frightened and intimidated.
Yes. It's actually why, because none of these tools were in school. These tools are built up out of 20 years of experience. They're not academic tools. They're actually very much a common sense tool. And I think it's why it's gained so much traction. Number one, people want to discuss how they're going to build their business, and they want to discuss quarter over quarter where they're going.
And in your book, you very much put it into the language of the normal person, right?
Yeah, we actually put it, I think, beyond where the publisher wanted, actually. After we kept repeating chapter over chapter, here's step 1, step 2, step 3. Here's how you would actually run this meeting to create this view. Step 1, step 2. But about the 3rd or 4th chapter, the publisher was like, do you think you really need to do this? I said, absolutely. The book is going to be where you're going to get one thing done. Great. Now it's time to move to the next thing. You're going to forget that we've already given all those steps. It's very prescriptive. We wanted to make it very easy. So really anyone, there's so many people that can use these tools, anyone can actually map it out. Everybody's visual.
And is it geared to a certain kind of business, or can you go quite to the micro businesses right up to the...
Yeah, any size business. We use these tools in my own experience from a startup, no revenue, zero, first day one, out the door. We've used it in $1 billion company. We've used it in 100 million. 50 million, 10 million, it doesn't matter. These are the foundations of how you build a business and how you get a team to work together for a team goal.
Now, what's really exciting, as you said before, the book is really getting traction. Businesses out there are getting a lot of success. You've actually gone as far now as you started to do coach certification, haven't you?
I did. I'll tell you a story about that. So the book gets released. Lots of coaches love it. Reach out and they say they want to be certified. I said, just read the book and do it. Get going. You don't need to be certified. It's not perfection. Just start doing it with your clients. I talked to about 40 coaches who had asked a year ago at this time, and I decided I'd call about 20 back and ask them really why do they want to do this. And the theme that came back, there was two. One is, they said, Shannon, when you built your companies, you built a system. And this is the part of the glue that holds the whole system together. It makes it easy to grow a company. I was like, that's pretty intuitive. Yeah, that is true. And then the second thing coaches said to me is that you also have a coaching system. You took the system, you applied way you coach a company, and you've applied a system to that as well. And I said, yeah, that's correct. Then we took it back into my own organization and we talked about our core purpose, which is actually, helping companies grow easily and making sure no one's as desperate as I was to grow a company. That's why I do everything. This is my retirement fund. I'm having a ball doing it. And so we actually came back internally and said, we should do this. This is the right thing. This is not only one to many, like if I get a chance to do this or speak to a large audience. This is one to exponential many. There's so many coaches worldwide. We currently have 60 coaches worldwide using this system, and the impact we're seeing is off the chart. It's basically the traction I've seen with my clients is within 3 years of using the system, so that's the 3-HAG, they usually have tripled their top line and tripled their cash flow. Providing
they're disciplined enough and they stick to the system.
And the word I use is confidently disciplined. And if you're, I'm a fan of self-implementers.
Yep.
If you're an entrepreneur out there and just follow the book, it will work. If you really want to get the traction you want, and this sounds self-serving, but it's not, get a coach. I did not go to the Business Olympics without a coach, and I went twice, and we've had huge success.
And it's true, and actually the thing with the coach is they operate in your blind spot, so they're going to see the stuff that you're missing. Or the stuff that you choose to miss because you don't like to do that stuff anyway. And actually, it's the stuff you need to do. It's
totally.
True though.
Totally. My own coach, I always give credit to all my coaches. I had coaches through my first business. I spent over $1 million on coaches in my first business. We invested for 10 years until we sold it. Second business, I didn't spend as much, but proportionally the same amount. It was just a shorter go from zero to exit.
And actually, you as a client initially, I know there's a lot of businesses out there that just have a huge hang up about investing.
Yeah.
That they get petrified about, well, I can't take that kind of gamble.
Right.
What advice would you have to them? Not as a coach today, but as a business owner you were then.
To invest in a coach or take investment?
Well, to actually invest in a coach because...
I'm pretty brutal. I think I'm really direct now about that because of the experience we've seen, and all of us have seen as coaches, that when someone takes it on, you see a difference. My advice is invest in yourself first. Companies that grow, the CEO, the entrepreneur, the founder, they invest in themselves first. And yeah, I get it. If you're a business just starting out, not a lot of cash, you're just getting in there, maybe you're 0 to $1 million, 0 to 5 million, you've got to find the money to invest in the team first. We always forecasted a way to invest in our coaches and our education system on our team first. So much so that we would actually remove other things out of our own forecast. Education was always in there first, and a coach was a part of that.
And that's interesting because for a lot of people, for a lot of CEOs and their teams, they are the limiting factor in their business.
Yeah.
And unless they change their thinking and change their actions, nothing is going to change. And I see so many people pedaling harder, thinking that pedaling harder is going to get you the result. Right. It isn't going to happen.
Right. Number one barrier, we know it as coaches, we know it as experienced leaders, is the leadership team. Number one barrier to growth. And so why wouldn't you have a coach come in and help you? Makes your life so much easier, and we want to do it easily, and we want to have fun doing it.
Absolutely. So if people want to know more about the 3-Hag Way, where do they go?
Well, they can go to threehagway.com. That's easy. They can go to metronomeunited.com, and all the information, all the resources, all the tools are there. And of course, you can engage a coach there.
Well, the first stage is get the book and read the book.
Yeah, and get going.
And get going, absolutely.
Time is our scarcest resource. Get going.
And it's amazing how many people I come across that say, I was thinking about doing this, and I've been thinking about this for years.
All the time. I think it's why I get more direct and tell everyone time is your scarcest resource, not cash.
Well, thank you so much for your time today.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
If anything we've spoken about today resonates with you, head over to Boolkah.com and reach out. And remember, failing to learn is learning to fail.